Morning guys, I'm trying out X videos for the first time today, so hopefully this works. But I wanted to do a little macro video update on Bitcoin, ETH, and total market cap. Obviously, looking at this from the lows, I do think that this move up from the lows, the low being 15.5k, I do think was an impulsive move. So I do think the bottom is in, but I believe we're probably correcting a move of the same magnitude right now. So if we look at this from Elliott wave terms, I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think an ABC correcting that initial 5-wave rise is underway and probably at least 80% of the way through now. I think this was probably an A wave down. This was a B wave. Even though it took out the highs, I think it's still part of the same corrective structure being a B wave, and now we're in a C wave down now. Now with a flat like this, it's a 3-3-5 structure, so we do need this final C wave to have 5 subwaves within it, and so far I think we haven't quite done that 5th wave down yet. I think that is probably underway now. How deep this goes depends on whether this ends up just going straight down to a new low, which I don't think is probably going to happen. I think if we zoom in on Bitcoin here and look at it on the sort of 4-hour, I think we can already see a 5-wave decline here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it hasn't taken out these lows yet. So I do think this will probably end up being some kind of ABC up, and then another wave 3, 4, and 5 to a new low happens after that. Probably come down here, double bottom down here or something, and then do something like this. Come up to this left shoulder resistance here, and then come down again, and then that would be a 1, 2. This would be a 3. Then we'd probably get another wave, and then one final low. And I think that's probably how this entire structure will unfold, correcting the move up from the lows. And once we sort of get this final 5th wave and all its subdivisions within this final 5th wave complete, I think that's probably the point in which we'd start basing and finding a low, and then moving up to new highs, taking out these 32k highs here. So still a little bit of time left. I think it's probably going to take probably another month or so to unfold, and then we probably need a little bit of time to base as well. So that's just Bitcoin. Obviously Ethereum has a slightly different structure, similar but slightly different. Similar in the fact that if we look at the same lows that Bitcoin made down at 15.5k, that was down here. I think this is also probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But this ABC on ETH didn't actually take out these highs, so it's just a simple zigzag rather than some kind of flat. I'll just move all these. So obviously same deal again. We have the A wave down, have a B wave up. This is just simply a lower high rather than it taking out like Bitcoin did, taking out these highs. And again, we're still looking for five subwaves within this C wave. So even though we've taken out the A wave lows here, as we can see down here at 1574, we did take out those lows, which is the minimum requirement. The subdivisions don't quite look ready yet. It still looks like we're yet to put in a final 5th wave, where we've got the 1, we've got the 2, we've got the 3, we've probably got the 4 now, but we don't quite have the 5th wave decline just yet. So again, if we look at this zoomed in, like Bitcoin, it either does look like this is sort of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here done, and we're probably going to be doing an A, B, C up before further downside, or this ends up actually being a 1, 2, 3, and this ends up being a 4, and then we come down lower and make a 5th. But unless we take out this low, I don't think we can call the low being in. And so if this 5th wave does end up coming a little bit lower and doesn't take out this low, I dare say we're probably still going to have another little bounce up, and then another push down into the lows again, and then kind of once this turns into a 5-wave decline, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's when I'd say that all the subdivisions within this larger ABC look complete, and that's when we'd start to look for a low, and then to confirm the low, we'd then be looking for a 5-wave rise. So to take out this prior wave 4 and a 5-wave rise from the lows, and then that would be the trigger for us saying the bottom's in, and then we'd be expecting a little ABC down, and then to continue higher. So Yeah, that's sort of Bitcoin and ETH. I think in the larger structure, ETH definitely is looking slightly different to Bitcoin in the fact that it has been basing for longer. This kind of looks like some kind of ascending triangle, like so. And I do think in the, as this structure unfolds into the next few years, I think this will end up being some kind of extended wave 3, where this was a wave 1, this was a wave 2, and this was also a wave 1, and we're also currently in another wave 2. Which ends up continuing continuing to extend like so, and this would end up being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So ETH does have a little bit of a different structure to Bitcoin, but looking at total, which is all the cryptos combined, I think Bitcoin and ETH alone make up 70% of total. Again, also looking quite similar in the fact that we have a very clear impulsive rise from the lows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're doing an ABC correcting that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where we've now done we're now in the C. We haven't quite taken out the A wave lows yet, and we also don't have the 5 subdivisions within this wave C yet either. So I do think we do have another low to be put in. I think we need to make another low, create the 5 subdivisions of this C, and also take out these A wave lows like so. Depending on how far this 5th wave extends, either we'd be expecting a reversal from here and then a move back into the range. That would probably also confirm a low. But I think more importantly, maybe even wicking this wave 4 low and creating like an SFP down here where price wicks and then closes back above. That would also probably mean that the C wave is done as well. But I think there's still, obviously, in this C wave alone, this has taken so far to date near almost 2 months. So I think we've probably got at least another few weeks left. And if this bounces first and then does a move like so, even once we get to the low, it'll probably need a little bit of time to base, probably like a month or so there to base. So I don't anticipate any of this to be quick. I think we still have plenty of time to let this unfold. I don't see any particular reason to be sort of jumping into longs or accumulating yet. I think there's still going to be plenty of time to accumulate. Even when we do hit that low, I still think there's still going to be plenty of time to accumulate after that before we actually start showing signs of an uptrend again. So definitely not rushing into anything yet. I think in terms of this ABC, I think correcting the 5-wave rise from these absolute lows down from November last year, I think we're probably 80% of the way through it. But even to date, this ABC has taken so far 143 days, so a little bit over 6 months already. So even though we're 80% of the way through, I still think we've still got plenty of time left to see this unfold, at least another month or two. So yeah, not really rushing into anything yet. I think there's no point sort of worrying about missing the bottom, because even when that bottom comes, there's still going to be an accumulation period. So yeah, I don't think there's any need to be watching the charts every second of the day right now. It's just not necessary. But for the most part, I think we're probably 80% of the way through this correction period. So not quite there yet, but definitely I think the worst is probably over. We probably have another low to come, maybe a couple of lows if we consider this a low, and then we get a bounce up to here and then another low. But in the big scheme of things, I think we are most of the way through this correction. And yeah, that's kind of how I'm viewing Bitcoin, ETH, and total for now. And I don't think there's really any other charts that you need to be focusing on. I think these three cover everything. And until these three start to line up and look very similar and all look like they've completed their major C waves, I don't think there's any point sort of monitoring anything else for now. And yeah, that's kind of it for now, guys. Cheers.